Good morning, everybody. Today is December 16th, 2022. That is Deacon, and I am JJ. This morning he's your mom. He's your mom. It's your mom joke. It's good. Well, normally we are your two dads, and we are here Monday through Friday to read the news and see what's going on in the world and help you start your day and drink a cup of coffee and cheer you up. Sometimes when you wake up, you're kind of like slow and lethargic to get your metabolism started and get your day started, and it can be kind of gray. But by the end of this show, you are going to be pumped up and excited to see what other kind of crazy stuff is going to happen in the world.
What show are you watching? Are we watching? Do I have it on the right channel? I don't think me and you are watching the same thing.
Deacon, every single day there's a magic trick. Every single day you come in and you're like, okay, I guess we're going to do the show. And by the end of the show, you're like, yeah, that was pretty fun.
I am?
So, yeah, that's the way it is. It's for our audience too. They just don't, it's such a gradual, slow Jedi mind trick. You don't recognize it. You think it's your own abilities of making yourself become positive, but it's because you're watching the show and you're actually in the show. But all the people that are listening and watching to this show, they are gradually getting built up and reshaped from like, blah, I don't want to have a good day, to like, yes, this is the most amazing day ever.
Okay. Goodness gracious, we're going to have a shit amazing day. All right. My God. I love you. But God, this shit gets on my nerves sometimes. I'm not a happy person. I don't wake up happy, and I don't want to be happy all the time.
Oh, man. Oh, come on. Bob Cratchit.
I'm not Bob Cratchit. I'm Ebenezer Scrooge, man.
Bob
Cratchit was the one that always found happiness in whatever. That was one of the directions that the director gave me, was the part where it's where Christmas Future, I actually have to go off stage and change and come back, and then go off stage and change and come back again because I'm playing both parts. But Christmas Yet to Come is showing Scrooge, the Cratchit family, after Tiny Tim has died.
Yeah.
And I have to come into the family. The family's all sitting around the table, and I had to walk in, and they're like, "Hello, Father." And I had this whole line where I'm sorry I'm late. I went by there today, and the grass was green, but we'll go by every Sunday. And I'm supposed to try to get broke up and then change the topic. I saw Fred Hollowell today, So, and then the director, his direction that he gave me was, because I was playing it as a very morose, I've come in from my dead son's grave, high family. He's like, no, Bob Cratchit is the guy who he's the positive anchor of the family. So even though his son has died, he's still got to put on a positive. So trying to act positively morose was kind of hard. So yeah, Bob Cratchit was
the worst thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind. My son died, but doesn't mean you can't put a smile on your face.
Yeah, I didn't know how to. I was like, oh, okay, I'll try. So yes, I'm very much an Ebenezer Scrooge. I don't like people. I want people to leave me alone.
Brian's telling me Rumble's not working, but Rumble's telling me Rumble's working. Rumble's working. Rumble's working, Brian. Rumble's working. It may just be slow. I don't know what the deal is. Look, I am pestering Rumble every single day about, hey, make things better. Make it easier for me to do this. And they are definitely read one of my messages. So
you think they read one?
Yeah, they read one. And they were like, hey, sign up for the waiting list to make sure that this feature gets turned on. I was like, you guys, I am promoting your platform. I'm convincing all of several persons to watch on Rumble. Please make it easier. No, it's working over there. It may just be a little slow. Okay. All right, Scrooge. Ebenezer Deacon. That's what your name needs to be.
Yeah.
Ba Deek Bug. Okay. Well, so every single morning, Monday through Friday, except for the days we don't do it, but most of the days we've been doing it, and we've been going for like 3 months now or something. I lost count of how many shows we've done. But we're here every morning, and we're looking at the world's most amazing, fascinating news, and we're offering our totally valid and important opinions on this thing.
Excuse me. That's my valid opinion.
All right. Deacon,
Yes.
did you happen to drive by Twitter at all yesterday and see anything hilarious?
I was at work yesterday from about 5:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. last night. So no, I did not do
Okay.
very much but sleep when I got home.
Well, that's
And
good.
now I'm back here at work at 5:30 again this morning. So no, I did not do anything yesterday.
I'm a bit of a less responsible person than you, so I was kind of like on Twitter. There was for the last week prior to yesterday, for like a week solid, there were this little teasing announcements from Trump that from Donald Trump, not on Twitter, on Truth Social.
Yeah, big announcement as vice president,
Major
maybe.
hashtag major announcement. And so
Yeah,
the
what is
scuttlebutt
it?
run up
Huge.
to
Yeah,
yesterday was the scuttlebutt was, oh, is he going to announce a VP? Is he going to endorse somebody? Is he
gotta
going
be.
to pick
Yeah,
Carrie Lake to be his VP
gotta
and
be.
it run
Gotta
way
be.
in advance?
Yeah.
And no, not exactly, not exactly. Trump had a
Oh,
major announcement yesterday,
oh, he
and
did?
it was it was trending on Twitter. It was
Yeah.
so major. It was hashtag major announcement was trending on Twitter,
Yeah.
and
Well,
John his major announcement was that he launched the official collecttrumpcards.com, the Donald Trump NFTs you can buy for only $99, a picture of
99
Donald Trump.
cents.
No, that's $99. That's a dollar sign.
It's a dollar sign. It's only 99 cents.
So I'm gonna play the Trump video because like there's a president of the United States. Let's just see what he
Do
has
we
to say
have to
about it.
watch this again? Do I have to
You don't
watch
want
this?
to?
I'm
You
sorry.
watched it already?
Go ahead. I just
with an important announcement.
he's
You don't
just
have to watch it.
I'm not a Trumper. I
I
think
know.
he's a good guy, and I think he did do a lot of good stuff. I think he's a good guy in a sense of trying to do right stuff, but I think he's a piece of shit as much as everybody else is a piece of shit. He's a fucking, what he is. But he did do some good stuff, and he doesn't get he shouldn't get the hate that he does, the blind hate that he does. But I'm not a huge I don't know.
You're not a Trumper. You are not a
I'm
Trumper.
I'm not a MAGA Trumper. I never have
not.
been, and I never will be that way to any politician. I'm just
Well,
not that
right.
way.
Well,
I'm
I'm a
never
big
going to
fan
be
of
diehard
No Heroes.
because they're all fucking crooked. Every goddamn one of them are crooked. So I'm not going to be a diehard in your camp fan. But Trump
right.
is a fucking joke anymore to us. He's giving Republicans the Republican name, or not to us, but he's given this side a bad. He's just for real. I mean, I'm done with Trump, man. I'm done with him.
Okay.
He's a liability now.
It certainly raises the question. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, "Oh, Trump just dropped out of the 2024 race." Now maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. But this feels to me like Trump is not serious about 2024. He announced 2024 like right after Thanksgiving or something like that. But this feels like, "Oh, you're not serious." And it feels like he doesn't have the support of his family right around him. He doesn't have like Ivanka or anybody championing.
Like he is trying to do this to deliberately take away votes from the other side, knowing that he's not going to win. But I'm imagining that I'm predicting that here soon we'll see an endorsement by him next year. We will see an endorsement by him for somebody. Carrie Lake or somebody, but
you mean for the Republican nomination?
I think he's just screwing with people right now. I don't think he's serious about running again. But that's me.
That's what I feel like.
Could be wrong. I don't know.
I feel like maybe he was initially serious. I feel like he was initially serious and wanted to defend his legacy. He's right about the fact that the elections were rigged. It's just that it wasn't fraud. It was rigged. The Democrats had better game plan. They went and passed a bunch of laws so that they could run around and collect ballots and do ballot harvesting, and they could do a bunch of other stuff. They have obviously they have accomplices within Twitter 1.0 that would
I disagree
suppress
with you there. I
anything.
think it all was rigged. I think there was stuff that was legally done that's set up ahead of time, because why wouldn't you do that? That's only the smart play. But I do think that there was a lot of illegal stuff that went on that people are just
I
turning
just
their
don't.
blind eye to.
I don't think. I mean, look. Of course, people are going to do like illegal fraud and stuff if they can, and they can't. I just don't know that it's been demonstrated that any of that was the tipping point. What is the tipping point
I
is
think it
that
was.
Democrats in blue areas can go like 5 feet from one residence to another and say, "Hey, give me your ballot. Let's turn it in. Give
You
me your
never
ballot.
watched
Give
A
me your ballot."
Thousand Mules, did you?
I know I haven't watched.
Okay,
I haven't watched,
then
but
watch
I've
it.
seen.
Just
I
watch
know.
it.
I
'Cause
know
that's
what the
not what's
argument
happening.
is.
That's
I
not
know
what's
they're saying there's
happening.
stuff in boxes, but
But
it's
but
not.
what
It's
but
that's
what
not
you
even illegal.
but
In
what you just
39 in
no, 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 no,
39
no, no,
states,
no,
it's
you're
not
not
illegal.
understanding. What you just explained is not what's happening. You think that they're just going out and stuffing boxes, and that's not what's going on. Just watch the movie. Just watch the movie. I don't
You
I
should
don't
be
I
able
don't
to
I don't
clearly
wanna
explain
I don't
it.
wanna be pissed off
Okay.
all.
All
I
right.
don't.
All right. Well,
Just
this
watch the
isn't.
movie. I mean, I honestly believe that it was stolen. That's my personal opinion. If you don't believe
Okay.
that, I'm presenting evidence to you. All I'm asking is
Mm.
to just look at the evidence.
So
This is dumb.
regardless of,
I think regardless, this is dumb. This is the stupidest
uh,
move that he could have made
I
in
don't
a
know who
political
told him
way.
this is a good idea.
No, money wise, absolutely. He's going to make all kinds of money off this, because there's stupid MAGA idiots out there that's going to buy up every damn one of these in the hopes that they get a dinner with Trump or get a Zoom call with Trump or something. But
I guess so.
seriously, I wouldn't pay for these. I mean, even if they were like a 100 for 99 cents, I'm not spending $1 on these. Are you? Even if he had Donald Trump up there
Would
and a
never.
cable that looked
I'm
like
not
Cable
buying
from
this.
Marvel Comics, I'm not buying this.
You might. You might. Nah, if
No,
it was cable, you might. You wouldn't
no.
buy it. What if it? Okay. I look. NFTs are like so 2021. Nobody that has. I mean, first of all, people are struggling to buy like gas and milk. They're not buying stupid, dumb digital pictures that you have like. Oh, you can put it on the blockchain, and you definitely have the only one.
The
There's
people that
it.
buy this stuff aren't struggling to buy milk and gas
That's
and
true.
pay their electricity. They don't care. They don't worry about those things. All right.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So Jordan says the DNC nonprofits are buying ballots and filling them out and then paying to have them dropped off. I understand that that's probably happening, certainly in some targeted areas, and maybe it made an impact in some of those areas. Proving that is one thing, and that's unfortunately they have yet to like prove it in court, and that's what you have to do. So, but I mean, I get it, but also, okay, so that may be like totally fraud, and that's wrong. Okay. But also the Democrats have a better ground game of collecting legitimate ballots. They're using the law. They made the law and then they're using the law to advantage themselves. And Republicans, we don't run around talking to each other and be like, "Hey, did you vote? Hey, turn in your ballot." We don't do that. That's why that is a more significant reason why they're winning.
Profits buying ballots and filling them
Overperforming.
out and then paying to have them dropped off. Fraud.
Right.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I'm just. I'm just. It's a very interesting movie. Even if you don't believe that any of that happened, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to educate yourself on something that you don't, that you argue with? You know, I never understood that. I never understood why people would want to argue with something that they know nothing about. You know, if you're going to argue with something over something, at least know what you're talking about and you know what you're arguing about. So yeah, I mean, I'm not insulting you. I'm not trying to insult you or insinuate anything by that right there. I'm just saying that 1,000 Mules movie is a very interesting movie. All I'm saying is that don't turn it on whatever you watch every night, the same thing, or flip it over to YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Just take an hour and a half or however long that movie is. 2,000 Mules, yeah, whatever, 1,000, 2,000 Mules.
I listen
Jeremy,
to Tim
watch
Pool
it.
too
I
much.
mean,
Okay.
it's great. I don't even know who Tim Pool is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows you who.
No, he's talking about me. He's saying I watch Tim Pool too much.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know who Tim
All
Pool
right.
is.
Yeah, I know. So Donald Trump yesterday launched this NFTs. I don't know who's selling these to. I don't know who's buying these. I guess people with money. I think they're absurd, and a lot of people on Twitter. I'm talking about uh, uh, people that are influential on Twitter. A lot of them were like, "Oh my god, seriously?" I mean, cat turd, and there's a lot of people that are of uh, lead
Right,
trends, and
right.
usually they're pretty positive about Trump, but then they saw this and they're like, come on, man, are you serious? This is absurd. I mean, here he's dressed as a cowboy, there's one where he's dressed as a spaceman. These things are absurd, and the NFT fad is already kind of, I feel like it's passe. It's hard to get into crypto in the first place, and then to exchange crypto to buy a token or whatever. This whole thing is absurd. The real question is, who told Trump, hey, we should be doing this? This will make us money. This is it. Somebody, this wasn't his idea. Somebody came to him with this idea and he was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's put $2 million into dumb pictures and sell them online. So that happened yesterday. That was hashtag major announcement on Twitter yesterday. That was a big deal.
I was really surprised when I first saw that yesterday. I was like, okay, this is kind of a jokey little thing. And then I had forgot that he said that he was going to make this big announcement. And then as the day went on and I
I
kept
had forgotten
looking
too.
and looking, I was like, what is this little superhero Donald Trump thing? Somebody drew Donald Trump as a superhero, but why in the hell is this everywhere? And then when it finally hit me that that was his major announcement, I had to go and actually look. I was like, was that really his major announcement that he's got NFT trading cards?
Yes.
I mean, I think Trump did some good things. I don't think that he was all evil, mean, orange man like everybody says at all. But this was dumb, and I
Yeah.
don't support this. I don't support him. This is the same to me. This is on the same scale as doing something like this is showing me that do you really give a shit about the country or do you really give a shit about your pocketbook? Because this is the only thing that this is going to help is your pocketbook. This does not benefit the country in one iota, and you don't need money. It's not like you need to pay your bills. So what was the purpose of this? There's got to be an underlying purpose for a man as rich and as powerful as Donald Trump to take time and money to do something like this. There has to be an underlying motive other than just money because he doesn't need money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Jordan is saying NFTs weren't the real announcement. Okay, so Jordan's talking about, oh yeah, Donald Trump also announced his digital bill of rights. Here's the thing: if that were his actual announcement, you wouldn't have overshadowed it with a giant clown move like TrumpCards.com. No, if his real announcement was the Bill of Rights, like a big platform plank of my campaign for 2024 is digital Bill of Rights, and we're not going to let people ban us from the internet, and da 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 da. Okay, that would have been like an actual announcement, but instead, I'm selling NFTs for $99. Obvious giant
Yes.
clown move. It blows anything that's remotely legitimate out of the news entirely. So either Trump is both were his major announcements, and that was his real major announcement, and both of those things are true. And Trump has aged into a complete retard and didn't know that was going to blow his digital bill of rights out of the news. If you think that, because I don't think that, or Trump has taken so much heat he's fighting back so much. Just he's been fighting for years just to try to legitimize his presidency, because the media delegitimizes it all the time, and that is actually happening. The media actually delegitimizes the president, and all of that happens so much that at this point he's lost the support of all of the DeSantis base. He's losing in all the polls to DeSantis. He's lost a bunch of support, and he has like lawsuits and stuff like that. So maybe he's pivoting. He's like, look, I'm 80 years old. I'm just going to sell NFTs and try to cash out. So I think that's what's happened. Okay, moving on. A bunch of journalists got banned yesterday from Twitter, Deacon. So a few days ago, 2 days ago, Elon Musk had this account called Elon Jet, and it would basically real time tell everybody in the world wherever Elon's jet was, and therefore wherever Elon was, because that's where his jet landed. So one of his jet landed somewhere, and a black clad seeming an Antifa type person ambushed the car, climbed on the roof, and threatened the passengers. But the passenger wasn't Elon. The passenger was Elon's son, Ash, or little X. And as a result, Elon wrote a new policy for Twitter that said any account that posts real-time information that would dox the location of any individual, that's a suspension. So Elon Jet account was suspended, as were a number of a number of accounts that tracked like Russian oligarchs and things like that, tracked where their planes were going. And yesterday, a whole bunch of journalists got their accounts doxxed, or got their accounts banned for doxing people and real-time locations of individuals, but for basically outing private citizens on Twitter. So some of the journalists are like at the Washington Post or places like that. And Elon said, let's see, let me pull this story up. Elon suspended several high-follower lefty journalist accounts last night. This is on Revolver.news. Revolver is not NewsGuard certified. Revolver is fake news, according to NewsGuard. But, according to these tweets, it really happened. Musk, several high-profile journalist accounts that shared his location real time. And he's really sensitive to doxing right now, especially given that his son was just attacked. They attacked the car with his kid. I don't know. What would you do if somebody attacked a car with your kid in it, Deacon? Musk jumped into Twitter Space, that's like a phone call thing, and explained the new rules, which make no allowance for journalists. So everybody gets treated the same. That's what he told them. It was down here. Somebody was complaining. What was it? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So basically,
he was complaining.
yeah. She said, AOC said, "You're a public figure, an extremely controversial and powerful one. I get feeling unsafe, but descending into abuse of power plus erratically banning journalists only increases the intensity around you. Take a beat and lay off the proto-fascism. Maybe try putting your phone down." And he said, "You first." But
AOC seems like that bitch at the party that you can hear over everybody else.
Oh my God.
You're at the party and there's some music going and everybody's talking and you got some laughing in the corner and somebody's yelling out there, but you can hear her whining nasally ass voice over everybody else. And she's got that you know the girl.
I know what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, she's just that annoying bitch that you look at and you're like, you could be pretty, but your personality makes you the ugliest person on the earth. That kind of girl. That's who she seems like.
There's a certain pitch and a certain tone that it will just like Like I hear all kinds of sounds at the same time. Like I don't have bad hearing. I have I have an inability to sometimes pick out what people are saying. I have to like look at what they're saying because you'll be talking in a noisy environment, and I'm going to hear the dishes rattling and the paper crunching and all of that
Right.
stuff, kind of all this
Right.
equally. I have a very I think I have a poor ability to isolate sounds and
Okay.
block out the rest. So I hear consequently I hear the vents running and the water running, and my wife is talking, and I'm like, I didn't hear what you were saying. I can't hear anything all the
Yeah,
time.
you can't isolate. See,
Yeah, yeah,
that's weird. I'm the complete opposite because I can walk into this room, and I've done this before. I can walk into this room and I will stop and go, "What is that new sound?" There's a new
yeah,
sound in this room, and I will isolate this machine over here is humming a weird hum today, and I will find where
yeah.
that sound's coming from. I've done that before. It's weird.
Well, it's mostly it often is people. It's people talking because like I hear all kind,
Mm,
and I've gone to the ear doctor because my wife was like, because I wasn't hearing my wife, so she made me go to the ear doctor one time to like get tested because making sure you're not going deaf because my grandfather went lost his hearing, was deaf, and like I was like concerned as I was getting older. It's like maybe I'm losing my hearing because like you'll be right in the next room, but I'll be having the water on, brushing my teeth or something. I can't hear anything you're
I'm
saying.
the same. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
like that too, though. When
oh,
there's a lot of
so
stuff going, but
I went to the
actually,
ear.
oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I went to the ear doctor. I got tested, put the cans on. I did the little this side, that side, this side. They do all the different tones and ranges. And I came out and I was like, "So what's the news, doctor?" And they said, "Hey, your hearing's perfectly fine." So I can hear all the frequencies. I think there's a difference between not being able to hear certain frequencies and like not being able to like pick out when a sound of a certain person talking and like
Yeah.
and block the rest of the sound out and only listen to that person. So
Well,
I know what you mean though, what you're saying AOC, like her voice would be like meh, 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 meh.
yeah. And certain people, they just they don't enunciate and they don't project their voices very well, and which is my whole family. I love every one of them, but my whole family talks like this right here. So when they're
Oh
talking,
yeah, soft
they're just
spoken.
yeah, they're talking like this. So they'll ask me, and I'm like, "What? I can't hear. You're gonna have to speak up. This is my talking volume, and this is how they talk."
Oh my god, somebody needs to get Deacon one of these like one of
Yeah,
those
you
old
know,
hearing
ah,
devices, like a cone. Ah, what did you say?
I am one
Say
of
it
those
into my
people.
ear.
I'm one of those people that it's like you will say something to me, and I'm like, "Huh?" And you'll say it again, and I'm like, "What now?" And you'll say it again, and I'm like, "Mm-hmm." Because I still didn't hear you the third fucking time, and I feel
Yeah,
stupid asking you to repeat it for a third time because you've said the
right,
same. I just can't understand what you're saying. I
right.
know I'm one of those. I've literally done that where I've had to ask people like for a third time. I'm like, okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. Say that
Right.
again. Please take the marbles out of your mouth and open your lips to speak the words.
Now, none of it's accent, right? No, it's not like people have super thick
No,
accent around
no.
you. Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
live in I live in Kentucky, and my whole life, and I'm used to people talking like this.
Of course.
There's only a few accents that I really have trouble understanding, and one of them's Cajun. A real
Oh
thick,
yeah.
real thick Cajun accent
Yes.
I have trouble understanding, and real thick Irish because Irish are speaking English, but they have a lot of. I've got a couple of Irish friends, and we
Yeah.
were on a call one night. We were playing a video game with a couple of his buddies, and
Yeah.
he was speaking English, and I had to stop him. I was like, "Dude, I know you're speaking English, but I don't have a clue a word that you're saying."
I think
His accent.
Irish has like a lot of Gaelic like
Yeah, and he was using
uh
a lot of slang terms from over there too.
yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah.
slang words,
You
but
really gotta really is some of the foreign cultures that still speak English. You really kind of gotta know. You gotta explore like what are you saying? What do you think you're
I
saying?
had an English buddy and an Irish buddy that we played with for years on the video games, and we would ask each other stuff like that. I would hear them say something, I'd
Yeah.
be like, "Wait a minute, I got a question. What does this mean?" And they're like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah." Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I've wondered that.
And for them, those turns of phrase are so common, and so they
Yeah.
probably are like, you don't know what that means. You don't know what it means to take the piss, and I'm like, what do you mean take the piss? What are you talking about? Yeah. Okay, I forgot where we were.
I don't know.
We were talking. Oh, you were talking about AOC's voice being awful and annoying, and it
Yeah,
is.
she's annoying.
It is. She's pretty bad. Okay. Well, anyway, basically, don't post people's locations on Twitter or you get banned. And it doesn't matter if you're a journalist or not, which is great because for a long time, journalists got treated like they're special first class citizens. And now they're just slumming like the rest of us. Good for them. And I'm not exactly 100% on everything Elon's doing, but I'm okay with that. I don't care about journalists too much. All right. So we've had it in the notes for like 3 days now, but we keep not talking about it. And this morning you posted a video. Did you want to run this video?
Yeah, I want to talk about that and run the video, but I got to talk here in about 2 minutes. So if we can get through it in 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, the video is 2 minutes, so we'll just start it and then we'll listen to what they say. This is from thesun.com. By the time.
Okay, so let me preface it before, so
Sure.
take a little bit of my time out because I'm going to have to talk in 2 minutes, and it's going to take me a little while to talk. So a humongous announcement was made this week. So if you're too busy keeping up with the Kardashians, do people still keep up with the Kardashians?
I have no idea. I've never even seen it once.
Oh no,
I don't know anything about that. Only thing I know is Ye was married in.
So if you've been doing something else this week and not been paying attention to some scientific news, was that what you were watching this morning when I joined?
Yeah. I was like,
so
oh,
you hadn't heard about it until this morning when you saw it.
I've read the I hadn't seen that, but I had seen the I had the BBC article from you 2 days ago. I was waiting on them to actually announce because before it was like, oh, they're gonna announce it was a leak, but I waited until they actually announced.
Okay. So basically we have achieved a fission that produces more energy than what it took to actually create it. So you want to run the video? And she explains it much better than I can. This is really cool. This is really huge news for humanity. It really is.
Let's see. This is who is this? It's a scientist spokesperson. Here we go.
Today we're here.
Do I have audio
to
on?
Talk about
Did I turn? Yes. I didn't. Okay.
Fusion, combining two particles into one. Last week, at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California, scientists at the National Ignition Facility achieved fusion ignition, and that is creating more energy from fusion reactions than the energy used to start the process. It's the first time it has ever been done in a laboratory, anywhere in the world. Simply put, this is one of the most impressive scientific feats of the 21st century. So, what does this accomplishment do? Two things. First, it strengthens our national security because it opens a new realm for maintaining a safe, secure, and effective nuclear deterrent in an age where we do not have nuclear testing. Ignition allows us to replicate, for the first time, certain conditions that are found only in the stars and the sun. And the second thing it does, of course, is that this milestone moves us one significant step closer to the possibility of zero carbon, abundant fusion energy powering our society.
There's a tiny cylinder here at the end of this that
this
you
looks
probably
important.
can't see.
Yeah.
It's about so tall and this wide. Inside that was a small spherical capsule about half the diameter of a BB. 192 laser beams entered from the two ends of the cylinder and struck the inner wall. They didn't strike the capsule, they struck the inner wall of this cylinder and deposited energy. And that happened in less time than it takes light to move 10 feet. So it's kind of fast. X-rays from the wall impinged on the spherical capsule. Fusion fuel in the capsule got squeezed. Fusion reactions started. This had all happened before, 100 times before. But last week, for the first time, they designed this experiment so that the fusion fuel stayed hot enough, dense enough, and round enough for long enough that it ignited, and it produced more energies than the lasers had deposited.
Okay, so do you know this means that we could possibly start producing engines that could take us out of our solar system? Do you understand that? This could be the start of creating, power out of hardly anything. We're putting two molecules together and creating now more power than it took to join those molecules.
And they're not telling us how much energy it took.
No, they're not going to say.
Kickstart it.
No, they're not going to say it. And if they did, we probably wouldn't understand the jargon.
I have a little bit of the.
Oh no, Jordan! Why is Jordan saying "ugh"? This is huge in our time. I think this is.
Well, even if they, this is obviously it is a big deal. It's a very, very big deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if this is a validated test, that it would take decades to get this industrialized into actual power plants, and it'll probably take a century to turn it into an engine, like you're talking about.
It'll take a century to get it into power plants, and it'll take 2 centuries to get it into an engine. We won't be alive. Absolutely not. All I'm pointing out is that we have started the process. We are alive at the ground floor when we have actually discovered this. This is amazing. The potential for this is astronomical. This was this was Star Wars and Star Trek type science fiction. What this was.
Check this out. On announcing the breakthrough, Dr. Marvin Adams, Deputy Administrator for the Defense Programs at the U.S. Nuclear Security Administration, said that the laboratory's lasers had an input of 2.05 megajoules of energy to the target, which then produced 3.15 megajoules of fusion energy output. That's 150%.
That's awesome. See, I mean,
that's
and this is
that's
pretty
impressive.
Step. The very first step.
That's right. If we're lucky, if they can move things fast enough, if we can fight, if we can stop fighting each other long enough, we might get something within our lifetimes that's kind of like this.
Yeah, imagine
then we would be like, you were
waiting for a joke, weren't you? You've been waiting since last
night. I wish I had time to find the clip. I wanted to find the clip, but I just.
Good God.
Love it.
You've been waiting 24 hours.
But I'm serious about this. But here's the thing. We were talking the other day about our energy infrastructure, right? And what did we talk about just a couple of days ago? There was attacks in North Carolina and Florida and Washington or wherever. And you got literally either state actors attacking our national or power substations, or you have a bunch of like Antifa nut jobs that heard it was a good idea and are running around attacking things. But our energy infrastructure is so weak that you can like literally do superficial damage to a substation and put 45,000 people in the dark. And then you're going to hook up like super awesome fusion generators to the system, but we're still going to have these massive nodes. And then, the distribution system is so fragile. We're going to have to upgrade the power distribution system significantly. And that's a big challenge because that's wire going everywhere and substations, and then you need security. Or
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like, okay, maybe we can make nuclear reactors that are fusion and they are green and they, produce tons of energy and whatever. But you're plugging those power generation into a grid that's totally fragile, and you can still like, there's no resilience, no redundancy.
You're acting like we're going to do this tomorrow.
Well,
We're not
I'm not saying we're not going to do it tomorrow, but
for 100 years. This is not going to happen for 100 years. We'll be dead and
right.
gone before any of this happens. I'm just
Well,
pointing out that we have made the first baby
yeah.
infant step.
Yeah. It's definitely
We'll have to
it's a
change
long road.
everything.
It's
We'll
a
have to
long
change
road.
everything. Our great grandchildren will have to change everything that there is about this. But
There are some companies that have been working on a different alternative, like nuclear solution, which would be these prefabricated, self-contained, like nuclear power modules, and then you can put it on the back of a truck, drive it into a neighborhood, plant it somewhere, and it's good for 30, 35 years, something like that. Totally self-contained, no external waste. And then after 30 or 40 years, once it's used up, you just unplug it and bring another one in and put it in there. But that would create more of a decentralized, distribution system. Something like this seems like it's really, really massive. But you're right; it's at the very beginning. Maybe they can miniaturize it or make it smaller or something like that. But I mean, 2.5 megajoules of energy in order to kickstart this thing—that is a lot of power. That's a lot of power. You're not going to collect that from solar arrays.
Yeah, but maybe in the future it's only going to take, a quarter of that, and it will produce 5 times the amount that it does today. That's all I'm saying, is that this is an enormous breakthrough, even if it is.
It is big.
Yeah, I thought this was
I agree.
really cool.
Pretty exciting.
Hang on.
And you're thinking spaceships, right? You're thinking putting it into.
Well, I was just.
I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this would give you, once you can get into orbit, it would give you an ability to have an engine with a fuel supply that's very small that you can constantly accelerate.
Right. I just wanted to point this out. I don't want to get into, and your brother is already wanting to get into a 20-page theological discussion. I don't want to get into a what if scenario and write an Isaac Asimov book. I just wanted to point out the fact that we're alive during this great, unbelievable breakthrough, and maybe our great grandchildren.
We're living the best time in history. Oh, wow. Hey, there's a bunch of people watching us on Rumble right now. Hey, hello, everybody on Rumble. Let me scroll down and see if you guys are saying stuff over there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Jeremy and Jordan are both saying. I agree with what Jeremy and Jordan, but what both of y'all are saying, they're both basically saying what Jordan says here. The powers that be will never let that happen. Right. The current powers that be will never let that happen. But let me tell you something about the current powers that be that me and my let's ignore reality, I guess. I'm not ignoring reality, dude. Jesus Christ. Are you listening to what I'm saying? This fucking technology is not going to do anything in our lifetime. What reality am I ignoring? The reality that the government is not going to let this happen? Of fucking course. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was just fixing to say. The government, our current governments, are not going to let this happen. You know what? People die. And the younger kids, they don't think like us. They think differently, because I don't think the way that my dad did, and I sure as shit don't think the way that my racist ass granddad did. So what are my children? They're not going to think the same way in the government. My kids already realize that the government is the most evil shit in the world, and they see what they do to us. All right. So
I mean, it's really good. Hopefully the younger people are paying attention more to what is happening than to TikTok, because they
are. Yeah. I am a father of teenagers. I see and hear it every day. These kids are in tune. They aren't like us. We didn't grow up with this, and we didn't grow up with this, and we didn't grow up with media and information, but they are. And they see a lot more than we do. And they have opinions, and their opinions are going to matter in 20 years. They matter now, but they're going to matter even more in 20 years when they're controlling everything.
I forget who said this, but and it might have been Thomas Sowell, maybe been somebody else. There was somebody that said that scientific advancement, it can only advance like one generation at a time, because what happens is that, it takes so long to like acquire all the knowledge necessary to be able to probe the next thing. But then whoever is doing the current kind of generation of like breakthrough science or whatever, they've got all of these preconceived biases about everything else. So they work on one little thing and then they hold that position until they're dead. So you have like an Anthony Fauci comes into power and domain and he gets into science, and then he advances science, let's say gain of function research, but only as far as, and then he defends it, and he prevents any other further advancement of science. And basically things can only advance as far as a certain step, and then the breakthrough generation becomes the old guard, and they hold things back until they're out of power. So they do
that in everything. I was telling that to I think it was my dad or mom or something one time, was that I think it was my mom, and she always went to this same doctor, this same old doctor that she had been to forever. And she was having some problem, and this old man doctor, 70-year-old doctor, didn't know what it was. And I'm trying to convince her to go to these new guys, because the old doctors they're like you said, they are stuck in their beliefs, and these new guys have new stuff, with the new kids, right, the younger doctors. So yeah, it's
the new stuff's not always like, sometimes you get like crazy ideas that don't work out or whatever. And I'm saying is that as a species, we have a handbrake on, that prevents us from accelerating too fast.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And maybe that's good. Or sometimes maybe it's not. All right. Do you have a Christmas movie?
No.
I got one. I'm going to tell you about it. It's super important. Okay. That's okay. Today's Christmas movie, December 16th, Christmas movie for the Your Two Dads show, is Batman Returns. I think Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
You've got the worst Christmas movies ever.
What are you talking about? These movies are great. They're fun. These are movies I would watch again.
This is the worst Batman movie in every single Batman movies lined up. One in a row.
No.
Batman Returns is the very bottom of the list. Like,
you're gonna put Batman Forever ahead of this? How dare you?
I would put other movies in just to make this lower on the scale. This movie is terrible. And you're got it as a Christmas movie? Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm not going to rewatch this as a Christmas movie, because this is the worst movie in the history of movies.
I can't believe you have such hostile feelings to Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Oh,
Danny DeVito as Penguin.
That was the worst piece of crap ever. Worst.
I don't agree with you.
Oh my God.
First of all, the worst Batman movie is Batman Forever with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Alicia Silverstone. That one's terrible.
That one is right above.
Is she in that one?
I think that one, and Jim Carrey and Chris, what's his name, is Robin.
Yeah. Those are the Schumacher. The Schumacher ones are the worst.
The Tim Burton one was terrible. Jeez. He needs to
agree to disagree. No.
Okay.
First of all, Michael Keaton back as Batman. Oh, look, is it the first Batman? No, of course. That 1989 Batman was amazing. A lot of fun.
See, everybody.
You don't even like that?
On a fucking pedestal. Michael Keaton's Batman was it was really, it was the best Batman, or are you just being nostalgic because
I don't know about best Batman. Is it the best Batman? I don't know if it's the best Batman, but it's very, very good.
Corny. I mean, go back and watch it now. It's Michael Keaton. Hey, props to Michael Keaton. I like a lot of Michael Keaton movies, but he's not the best actor.
Jimmy, what's that other Michael Keaton movie? You know, the one I love, where he plays the father of the
Multiplicity.
No, it's like Mr. Jones or something like that. Anyway, Michael Keaton is awesome, and Michael Keaton was awesome. And does Beetlejuice count as a Christmas movie? Is there a Christmas scene in that? I have to think about that. I have to go look it up.
No,
okay,
there's no Christmas
so
movie.
This is a Christmas movie. One of the important scenes is at a Christmas parade, not a
Is it a
parade, but it's
Christmas
like they
movie
have a
or is it
Christmas
a
tree,
movie with
and
a
that.
Christmas scene, JJ?
Well, what exactly is the criteria? You know, it
Does the
takes place
plot
at Christmas
revolve
time.
around
This,
being at Christmas?
oh, I wouldn't,
I would think a
I wouldn't say
Christmas
that's
movie would
necessary.
have the plot. The plot would have something to do with the holiday. But that's okay. I mean, I'm picking at you this morning from this movie. I don't like this movie. I'm just picking at you.
Jeremy says Bale is the best Batman. Keaton is best Bruce Wayne.
No, I didn't like. I didn't like Michael Keaton in any of the role. But I agree that Christian Bale was the best Batman.
I don't know. I mean, the Christian Bale movies are great, but is that because of Christian Bale or is that because Christopher Nolan?
Either
Because
one.
you
It
know
doesn't
Bale
matter.
was good, really really good. Okay, but I don't think you've seen the new Batman movie, the one that came out earlier this year or last year,
I
which
haven't
was
seen Ben Affleck's Batman, but I like Ben Affleck. He could play Jaws in the new Jaws movie, and I would be like, Affleck's awesome.
If you're including Ben Affleck and it doesn't strictly have to be a Batman movie, then The Accountant might be the best Batman movie because that movie's amazing. Have you seen The Accountant?
No.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it. It's not a Christmas movie. You gotta stay on theme here. There's a big scene in the city where the mayor like launches the tree or whatever, and so it definitely happens at Christmas time, and I think it counts as a Christmas movie. In fact, there's several scenes. There's like the penguins, birth and getting tossed in the river and all of that stuff. All of that happens in the winter. Batman Returns. That's the Christmas movie of the day for our show here on rumble.com/JJW. Thank you everybody for watching. We're a few minutes early. You got anything else you want to say? Deacon's on the mic. Deacon's on the mic. Ooh, Alex Jones is trending. Why is Alex Jones trending on Twitter? People are just saying he should be reinstated. Any other news happening, guys? Eyes Wide Shut is the best Christmas movie, says Jordan. I have managed to not ever watch Eyes Wide Shut. That's Tom Cruise and who else is in that? It's not. My recollection of this movie is. Yeah, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, and they both appear to be naked on the cover. And I was like, nope, I don't need to see Tom Cruise without clothes on. I don't care what happens in this movie. I've never watched it, so that's what I know about Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick, it's very interesting. I like Stanley Kubrick. I mean, everybody loves,
Eyes Wide Shut. Don't watch Eyes Wide Shut, JJ. Don't watch.
I'm not watching that.
Okay,
I love Doctor Strangelove. Doctor Strangelove is a great movie.
No.
Aside from that, there's a number of
Kubrick is a crazy fucking man. Okay, has he made some movies that were critically acclaimed? Yes, because he's crazy. Okay, and nobody else was making movies like. Would anyone ever make a movie like Clockwork Orange ever again? No,
I don't think so.
What a weird movie. But I watched that son of a bitch about 50 times. You know?
Did you really? I watched it once and I was like, okay. Everybody, because back in the 90s, it was like, everybody was, that I remember, everybody was like watching it on video in like, it's kind of like a counterculture thing or whatever. And I was like, I'm not into this rapist as a protagonist thing.
It was weird. Weird movie.
Yeah, I'm not. Doctor Strangelove is a classic though. I love Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah, the Eyes Wide Shut movie is just a weird.
Then he did the AI, artificial intelligence, and then he shot half of that, and I think like he died, and then Spielberg finished it off. Did you ever watch AI?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was very long.
I'm not a huge Stanley Kubrick's fan. I respect his work, but I think he was a weirdo.
Yeah,
you know,
Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen it? I'm not
Yeah.
watching it. I'm never
No.
gonna watch it.
No,
Okay. I'm not watching that.
it's a
Tom
fucking
Cruise naked? I'm out. I'm not watching
yeah,
it.
it's stupid
Oh,
ass Tom
you're
Cruise.
out because of Tom Cruise. I'm out. I'm out because Tom Cruise naked.
See, I don't even remember that part. So
It's on the cover of the video.
I know they wore masks and there was a lot of boobs in that movie. So if you want to see boobs, watch that movie.
Okay.
You can see
All
boobs.
right. All right. All right. Well, that's all the news there is fit to print today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Watch it. Interesting. Man, dude, there's so much stuff that I have to watch. Doom Patrol season 4 is out, and I'm like, I want to watch Doom Patrol. And I've
Hey,
got
you know
about
what I
2 minutes.
watched? You know what I've watched about halfway through the season?
What?
Wednesday on Netflix. And
Really? This was quite in the news last week.
Really good.
Jenna
So
Ortega, right? She's the she plays the Wednesday. This girl, Jenna Ortega.
I don't know what the little girl's name is, but she's pretty good.
And the twist is that not only is she going to this school or whatever, but she apparently has like psychic powers now. Is that right?
She can see when she touches certain things or whatnot. She has like this little vision, but I think it has to do with something else further in the story. All right, I don't think it's just like now she's got psychic powers and Pugsley can fly. That's not how it is.
So you're liking it?
Absolutely, it is really
You're
good.
halfway through it, and so you must have already encountered the goody character. Who's the goody character? There's like an opposite of Wednesday, right?
Oh, it's an ancestor named Goody Adams.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She was just an ancestor so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not as hokey. The trailer and what you've seen so far makes it out to be like, okay. It's actually really good. It's not all, there are some humorous parts, but there are some of those episodes where it ended and you're like, holy crap. I like the one I was pissed off at the end of the episode because they killed the little kid that I liked. The little kid got killed by the monster and Wednesday kind of turns around and it's at the very end and she finds him and he's like and I'm like, for real? You killed the little nerdy kid? Damn it. I was mad. I was like, wow, I can't believe they done this it's not a kiddie show. It's really good. It's actually really good.
I think my second, third hand impression was that it was very bingeable and people were very binge watching it.
It is bingeable.
And then like what kind of cropped up in the media, the only criticism that I really saw, and I don't even know if it's criticism, is that actress whose name is Jenna, I think it's Jenna Ortega, like on her Instagram or on her whatever social media outside of the show, in her profile, it's like Planned Parenthood, something. So people were like, complaining about her being an activist and like, surprise, an actress is an activist.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So the Morticia and Gomez have only been on like the first episode. And I think
they just drop her off at school.
Yeah. She goes to a elite academy. She gets out of public school and goes to Nevermore Academy. And, and the head lady at Nevermore is what's her name? That the big tall blonde lady that was in the not House of Dragons, but she was Captain Phantasma in the Star Wars movies. I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
She was in Game of Thrones too. You're talking about she was in Game of Thrones. She played
big tall blonde. She played that bodyguard lady. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. She's a good actress.
And then Captain Phasm,
Captain Phasma, Captain
whatever.
Yeah,
toss her out a hole of a spaceship is that's what I remember.
But it's a really good show. It's kind of it's Gwendolyn Christie. Yeah, and it's a pretty good show. I don't like to just Google everything anymore. All right. I had a conversation with my brother the other day. We was trying to remember a song and he got out his phone. I was like, don't look it up. Try to use your brain. We all look up everything anymore. We're making our brain cells die. So I try to actually exercise my brain and be like, what the hell was that again? I don't want to look up everything.
So, yeah. So I'm not explaining anything to anybody that has kids, especially young kids. Like, there's only so many hours in the, not in the day, in the week, maybe in the month. I get like between feeding my kids, packing their clothes, getting them dressed, getting them to school, getting them home, going shopping, all of this stuff, between all of that and then playing with them at night, there's no time to just like watch a movie. I haven't sat down and watched a movie. I have to pay a babysitter like $60 so I can go watch a movie. It rarely happens. So I mean, I watch things like in like increments. Like I watch half of a show. So and I bet Deacon maybe less because now your
No,
kids are more like self independent, or
well,
your kids
yeah,
can.
my kids are more independent now. They've
Yeah.
all gotten past that point to where they don't need our attention. And I know that if it's quiet in the house, I don't have to go check on them because I know
Yeah.
nothing's destroyed. Everything is okay now.
Yeah.
But Ashley and I still do that. We finished a movie last night that we started 3 days ago.
Yeah.
We had time 3 days ago to sit down. We were like, hey, and she was like, oh, that's a cute movie. Do you want to watch that? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we turned it on. And then about halfway through the movie, I told her, I was like, I can't do anymore. I'm ready for bed. I'm
falling asleep right now.
Attention. I don't care about this movie anymore. I'm ready to go to bed. So we paused it and we come back and she was like, you want to finish our little movie date? And I'm like, yeah, let's finish our movie.
Yeah, I don't even know how people did it back in the day. Like I don't know, 25 years ago or whatever. I worked at a VHS rental place, right? And you'd like rent a movie for $2 and then you'd have to turn it in the next day. I can't imagine how adults back then would rent a movie and then watch a movie.
They'd watch a movie and you would rent it and take it back without watching it.
Or not rewinding it or halfway through.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to keep it for 2 or 3 days. I mean, it's so, I'm really grateful that we have like DVR or video on demand or whatever. You can just pause and it remembers where you were at, because there's sometimes it's like I paused it and then like 6 months later, I'm like, oh, I was halfway through. I forgot entirely.
I've had to do this. I'm like, oh crap, I need to go and rewatch all these again because I don't remember what happened.
All right. Well, my thing on my list to watch is Doom Patrol. I want to watch that, and then I want to go back and check out more of Titans, because Titans was pretty fun. I liked it. So, okay, that's all today, guys. It's only $99. CollectTrumpCards.com. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll be back Monday with new news. And I got a comic book in, and I'm making an opening video, so I'll probably post that up on the channel separately. All right, that's all. Bye, everybody.